Welcome back to the channel and a brand new episode of Rank 'Em All. It's been 2 long years since the last one, but the wait is finally over. In this video, we're diving straight into the heart of the Bay Area to rank the full discography of Death Angel, the legendary Filipino-American thrash metal band. They've survived lineup changes, near-death experiences, and the collapse of the original thrash wave, but they've come back swinging every time. Now it's time to rank all their full-length albums from worst to best. The worst Death Angel album in my opinion is The Art of Dying, their 2004 comeback record. After their reunion gig at Thrash of the Titans in 2001, the band felt the fire again and returned with this album, 14 years after Act 3. But instead of reigniting the thrash flame, they leaned into groove and alternative sounds, clearly influenced by their 90s side projects like The Organization and Swarm. Gone was the furious intensity of their debut and the intricate arrangements of Act 3. When this record dropped, the underground was buzzing with reunions, Exodus, Testament, all coming back, but this one felt like a product of its time. Tracks like Famine flirt with heaviness but never fully commit. I've revisited it a few times, hoping it would click, but it never did. It just wasn't the comeback I had hoped for. The second worst Death Angel record is Killing Season from 2008. By now, we were deep into the comeback era, and the band had shifted toward a darker, groove metal sound, think Pantera or Machine Head. The riffs are chunky, the production is slick, but it doesn't feel like Death Angel. Mark Osegueda's vocals are the only real link to their past, and even then, it feels like he's trying to fit into a sound that doesn't suit him. Maybe this record would have landed better in 1993 during groove metal's peak, but in 2008, it felt dated and out of sync with what thrash fans wanted. In 7th place we've got The Dream Calls for Blood. After a couple of records I didn't particularly like, I started tuning out. It all sounded too modern, and I still think that's the case. This album is basically Relentless Retribution Part 2, same production, same vibe, same issues. Death Angel fell into the same trap as Exodus, Annihilator, Anthrax, and Onslaught, returning with a sound tailored to modern audiences rather than embracing their thrash roots. Maybe I'm just an old man yelling at clouds, but I'll take their 80s sound any day. Ironically, my favorite moment on this album is the Black Sabbath cover Heaven and Hell, even though Osegueda's vocals don't come close to Dio's. In 6th place we've got Relentless Retribution from 2010. This one felt a bit thrashier than the 2 records before it, maybe they heard the critique and wanted to prove a point. But it's still not pure thrash. There are groove elements and even some melodic death metal vibes. It's a very modern sounding record, especially vocally. I used to love Osegueda's voice, but here he's either channeling Foo Fighters or screaming like a hardcore punk frontman, and neither works for me. In 5th place we've got their most recent record, 2019's Humanicide. It sounds like a blend of The Dream Calls for Blood and Relentless Retribution, another mid-modern take on 80s thrash. Kind of like Destruction's recent output, but with different vocals. Rob Cavestany and Ted Aguilar deliver some cool riffs, especially on Aggressor, but I'm not into the angry, shouty vibe. As you've probably guessed, I'm not the biggest fan of post-reunion Death Angel. But they're far from the only band that fell from grace. I don't call Humanicide bad, it's just not the kind of metal I enjoy. As a modern thrash record, it's fine, and the musicianship is solid. In 4th place we've got The Evil Divide, which I consider the best of the post-reunion era. It's still modern, but it's more focused and less harsh than the others. It's like a streamlined version of Frolic Through the Park, minus the experimental chaos. The guitars really shine here, and while it's not a record I revisit often, it's the one that left the best impression from their recent output. In 3rd place we've got Frolic Through the Park from 1988. This one was seen as a bit of a letdown when it came out, not as frenetic as their debut, but it's more accessible. You can hear the funky hard rock influence creeping in, which would become more prominent on Act 3. Still, it's faster than Act 3 and has some killer tracks like Road Mutants, Why You Do This, Devil's Metal, and the MTV hit Bored. The Kiss cover Cold Gin is a weird choice for a thrash record. It halts the momentum, but it's telling of the album's scattered nature. Great in short bursts, but uneven overall. In second place we've got Act 3 from 1990. This one's controversial. Some say it's too experimental, funk grooves, acoustic passages, melodic vocals, and yeah, it's Death Angel's version of Metallica's Black Album. But I think it's a well-written, well-produced record that shows a band ready for the big leagues. They were signed to Geffen and poised to break through. Maybe it was too much of a departure for some fans, but I think it's their second best album. Seemingly Endless Time, The Organization, even the ballads Veil of Deception and A Room with a View, they all hold up. Sadly, the band suffered a serious bus accident in 1990, which eventually led to their breakup. A tragic end to a great run. And finally, the greatest Death Angel album is, of course, their legendary 1987 debut The Ultraviolence. Named after the disturbing but iconic film A Clockwork Orange, this was an easy pick. It's a classic, frenetic, intense, and utterly raw. It's insane to think drummer Andy Galeon was only 14 when they recorded it, and the rest of the band were still teenagers. So expect a lot of youthful energy if you haven't heard this one before. I read somewhere that it was called the first retro thrash record because it sounded more like it came out in 84 or 85 than in 87. It's so chaotic, unfiltered, and relentless. It reminds me of Testament's debut The Legacy. I also get some Metallica Kill 'Em All vibes from this beast of a record. Thrashers, Voracious Souls, Killers 1, some of the greatest thrash songs ever put on vinyl. This album is legendary and easily their best. So, let's check out my full list, and there it is. There's definitely an evil divide between the comeback era and the first three classics. This rank them all might have sounded a bit negative overall, but for me, you don't need much beyond the first three. If you're curious to explore further, I'd recommend The Evil Divide or Humanicide. And I'm not negative toward their full discography. Act 3 is in my top 20 most listened to records, and it was one of the first vinyls I ever bought. And the debut? What an incredible force. That record alone made Death Angel legends of the genre. So hit that like button and subscribe if you're new to the channel. Let me know your opinions. Do you agree with me or not? And remember to keep it civil in the comments, even if you love modern Death Angel more than I do. Also, let me know what you think of the text-to-speech bot I used for this video. I gave it a try because it would help me speed up the recording process of these videos. Which in the long run makes me more eager to do these videos when it doesn't take forever to record them. So let me know your thoughts, and I've also got a Patreon if you want to support my work, and you can find all my links in the video description. I got Spotify, Facebook, and all of that down there. And let me know what band I should tackle next in Rank Them All. That's all for now, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Cheers!